Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Laura and I just wanted to hop on here and make a quick video about the importance of your mindset, especially when you have a lipedema diagnosis. I'm gonna speak specific to my own experience, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. In terms of the way I perceived my body before my lipedema diagnosis, my mindset was in a state in which I resented the way my body was. I was frustrated with the amount of exercise, the limited calorie diets that I went on, the countless trendy diets that are meant to like slim you down quick. And then that manifested into different disordered eating patterns, all because I didn't know what was happening to me was a result of a disease called lipedema. And so before my lipedema diagnosis, I worked actually at great lengths at cultivating a really good self-love practice. So accepting my body as it was and learning how to love myself unconditionally. Because I've said this before, I would even set certain weight loss goals and then reward myself with living my life, basically. So, if I could get to this weight, then I could go on vacation, or I could go out with friends to a club or go dancing, this kind of thing. So when I got the lipedema diagnosis, I felt empowered because I had a clue to what was going to support me in supporting my own physical body so that I could feel and look my best. Discovering lipedema was very interesting because once I discovered it, I started doing a whole bunch of research, and there's very little out there speaking of reversing the effects of lipedema. There's lots of conversations and research talking about different conservative methods that can support your lymphatic system while living with lipedema. And then ultimately lipedema removal surgery, which for most is water-assisted liposuction. And so knowing that there was a cause other than me overeating and not exercising enough made me feel empowered. Even though there wasn't a large amount of information out there supporting research and science-backed studies sharing how women could thrive with lipedema. So immediately, I wanted to learn everything there was. The first thing I came across was that there was no known reason or cause for lipedema. And then there are conflicting theories about what lipedema is and how it manifests in your body and the different things that trigger it. And so I began joining lots of different groups where women were living with lipedema. I joined like a movement for lipedema. I joined a global lipedema surgeries group. So that was where I got to see how different surgeons worked, as well as hear from women, post-operatively what their experience was like. And that was really cool. And then I found a woman on YouTube actually, and I think her handle is Sturdy Woman, and she was really, really helpful because she spoke of many of the conservative measures that she was taking to support living with lipedema. And she'd lost, I want to say like 60 or 80 pounds. And I just thought that that was really cool. And so while you can't lose lipedema fat, you can shrink healthy fat. And so that was really, really cool to know. And then I stumbled across a whole bunch of adipose tissue conventions that were recorded online because of the pandemic and social distancing. A whole bunch of this stuff was done online and put out online. And then there were seminars I could educate myself on. And so I began watching these. I found a researcher, oh my goodness, her name is slipping my mind right now. I'll put her name in the comments. And she was someone who was super fascinated by fat, doesn't have lipedema, but is super passionate about it. I think she was an endocrinologist, and then she segued into specifically studying lipedema. I think she was from California. Oh my goodness, I can't believe her name is escaping me. She was a big advocate and potentially the doctor that pushed forth coming up with a standard of care for people living with lipedema in the US. There isn't a standard of care here in Canada that I am aware of. I'm almost 99% positive there is not one here. And so being able to read the standard of care that she along with several other doctors created helped me to have some insight into the many different ways I might be able to put some of this stuff into practice for my own self. Ultimately, my mindset was one that was focused on solutions rather than focusing on the problem. So this is what I wanted to share with each and every one of you. So if you have recently gotten a lipedema diagnosis and you're feeling depressed or you're feeling frustrated, I just want to share with you that there are numerous things that you can do to support your body while living with lipedema. There are lots of options out there, and I know sometimes it can feel like there are none, especially if you ask your family practitioner. When I went to my family practitioner and said, I think I have lipedema, I said, can you look at my legs? And she said, yes, I agree with you. And then made a referral for me to see a vascular surgeon because she doesn't specialize in this and it's sort of new to her area of practice. But she said, there's nothing you can do about it. And said I could make a referral to a dietitian. And I said, do you know of any dietitians that specialize in lipedema? And she said, well, it'll be a nutritionist, like a certified dietitian within our practice. And I thought, I've done so much research. I'm pretty sure I likely know more about lipedema than the dietitian within that office. So I was like, thank you very much for the offer. And then I said, there actually are other options out there. One is compression therapy. And so then I asked for a prescription for compression. And then there's actually lipedema removal surgeries that are primarily practiced in Europe. And she was like, oh, interesting. So I just want to emphasize that even if your doctor doesn't believe in lipedema, because that is a thing, even if your doctor says there's really no treatment, we don't know the cause, this is just something you're going to have to live with, I'm here to say, switch your mindset. Switch your mindset to one of everything is always working out for me. Knowledge and information is power, and I will find a way to thrive even while living with lipedema. And this will completely transform all areas of your life. Another thing that I have been practicing in terms of my mindset for years now is that instead of thinking things happen to me, I think that they happen for me. And it seems like a really simple shift. However, it's really, really powerful in terms of our brain. So when something happens for me, it may be perceived as negative to many people. I often perceive it as this is an opportunity for me to grow and learn. And so when hearing that I have lipedema, I was like, amazing. This is happening for me. Getting this diagnosis is happening for me so that I can begin to find solutions for myself, so that I can get rid of the pain that I'm experiencing, as well as learn how to starve off future lipedema growth. And so I don't know, for those of you who are new here, I hyper focus on things when I'm really, really interested. So I was reading research papers, I was listening to doctors speak about their research on lipedema, and while there isn't a consensus about the cause, and there isn't really a true consensus about treatment, there are a variety of recommendations. And listening and learning from other women who are living with lipedema, as well as thriving and finding a way to really feel good and love their bodies, created this really exciting drive within me to want to try all of the things. And then now, obviously, share them with you guys on YouTube, because I think sharing is caring. And I wish that I had someone that I could ask questions to when I first learned about my lipedema diagnosis. So if you have any questions at all, especially if you're watching this video related to mindset and lipedema, please ask. So remember, everything is happening for you. And another really, really powerful mindset practice that I started in the form of an affirmation was saying my name. My name is Laura, and only good things happen to me. And so that is one way I frame things happening to me. So good things happen to me, and then other things happen for me. So I do believe that we are here to grow and learn and share and connect. And I believe that me experiencing lipedema, part of that is so that I can share with others some of the solutions I found that really support my lymphatic system, as well as starve off any future lipedema growth. So I invite you to, one, really become aware of your mindset. So if you do have a lipedema diagnosis, do you feel like you have to wait? Or if you have a lipedema diagnosis, how did you respond or react to that diagnosis? Get curious about that, and know that there's no right or wrong way to respond. It's simply just a reflection of what your beliefs are. And two, oh my gosh, I'm like losing my train of thought. The second thing I wanted to say is that if you don't have a lipedema diagnosis and you think that you have lipedema, you don't have to wait for a diagnosis to begin to implement some of these conservative treatments to support your body in feeling its best, to support your body in reducing inflammation, to support your body in starving off future lipedema growth. Because the truth is, some of us might go to a general practitioner and they might just say, you're just fat, lose some weight. This is something I have heard in the past. No one called me fat, but they said, lose some weight, maybe you should go on a diet. I had other people say, okay, journal, show me what you eat. And then when I showed them what I eat, they're like, this is not possible. So know that you're not alone if you're feeling alone, and know that you don't need someone else to tell you you have lipedema to begin to implement some of these conservative strategies that can support your well-being. So I invite you to get curious about your mindset, and I also invite you to get curious about utilizing some affirmations that might steer you more towards when something happens, you getting excited about finding solutions rather than feeling defeated. So lipedema and my mindset were like having the mindset that I have and have been working on for years has been one of the most powerful things in terms of my recovery and getting rid of inflammation, getting rid of pain, and even having the drive and determination to seek out a surgeon and get lipedema removal surgery. I have to say that if I had have gotten the diagnosis of lipedema 10 years ago, I may have felt defeated because my mindset was different. And so because I've really worked hard at cultivating a positive mindset with an attitude of anything is possible, it really helped me to feel empowered, like I said, when I got the diagnosis, and then begin to move forward looking for solutions. So if you feel stuck, or if you feel kind of at a standstill, start with your mindset. Start with getting curious. Ask yourself, what if this is happening for me? What if I could feel better? What if I could support my lymphatic system and lessen the inflammation in my body? Like, how would that feel for me? And really, the answer is really freaking good. So why not give shifting your mindset to one that anything is possible? Why not give that a shot? Like, it will not hurt you believing that cool things are possible for you. And when you see other women utilizing conservative surgeries or getting lipedema removal surgery, and they look amazing and they feel amazing, know that they are proof that it's possible for you. Know that they are proof. And so a big one that comes up for people is financially, how I don't know how I would afford lipedema removal surgery. Well, I personally thought of it as an investment in me. I am gonna have to live with me forever. And so investing in myself now, rather than waiting until I'm a little bit older and potentially later stage lipedema, felt like the right next move. And I'll tell you this, I did not have the money at the time. It is not covered for me here in Canada. I know there are some insurance companies in the United States that do cover surgeries. So what that motivated me to do, it motivated me to look at different ways that I could shift my mindset in terms of spending a large sum of money. So I drive a 2014 vehicle. I just thought that is completely paid off. I am going to invest in this vehicle. And so depending on what you drive, or if you have a car payment, you know, often people will invest in an $80,000 vehicle or a $50,000 vehicle and not even bat an eye because it's something that they need to get around. Well, I was thinking, okay, my body is something that I need to get around. I'm gonna invest in this vehicle. And that was really how I shifted my mindset around the sum of money I was going to spend on lipedema removal surgery. So I invite you, get curious about your mindset and begin to make shifts in your mindset. And if you already have a really great mindset and you have some affirmations you wanna share with us in the comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I love them. I'll probably write some of my affirmations in the comments as well. And I look forward to hearing more from you guys. Bye.